Long Haochen is about to become a divine holy knight. But which divine throne will he receive? The most powerful of them all, the divine throne of eternity and creation. This is a super divine instrument that transforms into armor. All the other divine thrones were created based on it. Why is it so powerful? The divine throne of eternity and creation is a super divine artifact once used by the God of creation to create worlds. It represents the seat of the Creator himself. It is a true super divine artifact, far more powerful than even the divine shield of the sun and moon snail. The divine throne of eternity and creation was lost in the cosmos when the God of creation split himself into 100 gods and took control of all realms. It arrived on Long Haochen's planet by the will of fate. It had been waiting for the birth of its new master. That master was Long Haochen. The throne grants its bearer the greatest of powers. Its very existence signifies that the owner has received a divine throne from the Creator God. Thanks to this, he need never fear facing any barriers on the path to godhood. When Long Haochen approached the throne, he was at the 3rd rank of Divine Knight, which meant he had over 300,000 spiritual energy. Standing before the statues of the 6 divine thrones, Long Haochen's gaze fixed on the one in the center. Its high backrest looked simple, yet radiated immense power. It was the divine throne of eternity and creation. In all of history, only 5 people had ever dared to challenge the divine throne of eternity and creation, but every single one had failed. The last attempt was made by the holy knight Yang Haoyu. Even gaining the qualification to challenge the throne was already proof of one's talent and ability. As for Long Haochen, the 6th contender for this honor, would he succeed? In the deepest part of his soul, a vague connection began to form, and a strange sensation enveloped him, as if someone was calling his name. The divine throne of eternity and creation possessed vast, boundless power. It felt all-encompassing. The throne then revealed its strength and began to oppose the combined powers of Long Haochen and Haoyu. This was the first trial bestowed by the divine throne of eternity and creation. During this trial, even Long Haochen's body was completely suppressed to the point where the dark golden power within his soul began to fade. But Haoyu was different. His strength seemed to rival that of the divine throne of eternity and creation. Yet even he couldn't overcome the throne's will. Only on the 4th day did the confrontation between them and the throne finally end. It took a full 4 days just to earn the throne's recognition, something that had never happened before among all the holy knights who tried to receive a divine throne. But this was only the beginning. This recognition merely meant that Long Haochen was worthy of undertaking the throne's trials. What would the trials of the divine throne of eternity and creation be like? They were not just a single battle, but a series of tests. It consisted of a number of missions, and only by completing all of them could one gain the throne's approval. As recorded by the elders of the Night Temple, each set of trials differed depending on the person. But one thing was the same. The slightest mistake meant failure. A voice rang out, "The first trial, save the girl and protect her." Long Haochen fought a rank 10 magical beast. Having advanced from the 2nd to the 3rd rank of Divine Knight and fully completed the first evolution of his domain, Long Haochen had enough strength to pass the first test. Immediately, the voice spoke again. "The 2nd mission has begun. Help the girl rescue her family, and even more importantly, earn her trust. Failure in this mission will lead to failure of the trial." In this mission, Long Haochen infiltrated the cave of one of the strongest experts in the world. Haoyu was able to devour the tree of destruction. Meanwhile, Long Haochen awakened the fairy Yiting. As a result, his spiritual energy increased by 50,000 points, bringing it to 350,000. Then the voice rang out again. "Purify the darkness with light and unite it between light and water. You have passed the first trial." This trial of the divine throne of eternity and creation was not only about strength, but also about humanity and wisdom. The 2nd trial was a battle against the Holy Dragon. Although it seemed like Long Haochen passed easily, in reality, he would have died twice in the 1st or 2nd trial if he hadn't possessed the Light God's domain and completed his evolution together with Yiting's rebirth. But the final trial required all of Long Haochen's strength and endurance. He was warned that his domain attributes would no longer help him here. After recovering his energy through the heart of eternity, Long Haochen saw a mysterious figure in the sky. The Angel of Eternity, a woman with 12 wings. Her power suppressed even Long Haochen. Her domain, filled with the primordial power of chaos, gradually dissolved even divine light, stripping him of his usual advantages. When Yiting transformed into a sword and tried to strike, she too was bound by the white light of the eternal realm. Long Haochen realized that this was going to be the hardest battle of all. The Angel of Eternity used the power of chaos and summoned a massive light entity. Its strength was comparable to that of the God Emperor Feng Xiu, and the overwhelming pressure nearly drove Long Haochen to despair. This was the trial given by the God of Eternity to a mortal. The Angel of Eternity only temporarily held the power to govern the eternal realm. Nonetheless, Long Haochen did not retreat. He drew the royal sword and even sacrificed his very essence to activate the divine dance of light. A powerful technique capable of cutting through even the enemy's blade of light. Just as Long Haochen was about to be destroyed, he recalled his past defeat at the hands of Emperor Feng Xiu and the suffering of Kair, which ignited an incredible resolve within him. He activated the ultimate power of the divine shield of the Sun and Moon Snail. A 9-colored light burst forth, symbolizing the true might of a super-divine artifact. The Angel of Eternity had not expected Long Haochen to destroy the light figure with 1,000,000 units of spiritual energy. This was already close to the power of a demigod. Long Haochen asked, had he passed the trial? You have passed the trial. The Angel of Eternity nodded to Long Haochen. In that moment, the entire world turned 9-colored. A cold voice rang out in the air. Wisdom, perseverance, endurance, strength. You have passed the trial of the 3 great spirits. From this moment on, you shall be the master of the divine throne of eternity and creation. The Angel of Eternity will explain the details of the throne to you. Happiness came so suddenly, yet so naturally. Long Haochen was deeply moved. It had been more than 10 years since he first witnessed the power of the divine throne. For the past decade, he had trained diligently, facing countless trials and hardships. And now, starting from this day, he would finally possess his own divine throne. The ancient divine throne of eternity and creation, one that had never before been claimed. At this moment, his emotions surged uncontrollably. And then came the most important moment of all. We'll cover that next, because it's one of the coolest moments. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and see you next time.